WMMG, the phone-in talk show where you're given the opportunity to express your opinion on local and national topics of concern. This is your chance to get your word in edgewise.
Any views or opinions expressed on this show by guests, phone callers, or the host of the show are strictly those views and opinions of the guests, the phone callers, and the host of the show, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of this radio station, its employees, or sponsors of the show.
And at 3 minutes past 11, good morning, everybody. Been looking forward to this Edgewise program for several days. Spent quite a bit of time the other evening on the phone with this young lady. We've known each other for years. Please make welcome to the show. Yeah, this is talk radio. This is going well, Nathan.
It's your business.
Absolutely. Stephanie Wimpy.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Fine, Steve. Thank you very much for this.
You look and you sound incredibly good.
Thank
you.
you.
Really do.
It's the hat and the glasses.
Absolutely. You know, and you thought you were going to fool me doing the hat and the glasses. Coming in. He'll never know it's me.
Nobody will ever know.
And honestly, I didn't until you spoke. The voice.
The hick came out.
That's right. Well, the Stephanie came out. Here's the thing. We can all mentally go back to where we were when you started to spread throughout the community about the tragedy that your family went through. Everybody found out in their own way, and it'll be a day that I will never forget because of several reasons. But for those of you who may not have heard a lot of details or just caught, and I don't know how that would be possible, around here, but you basically just want to right now tell the story.
I do.
Okay.
I want to kind of tell this, Steve, from my perspective, from an aunt's perspective. I was the aunt of Tucker, am the aunt of Tucker, the sister of Philip Wimpy. A lot of you know here in town. The ones that are listening out of town, Philip Wimpy's the father of Tucker. I have a lot of brothers and sisters, you know that.
Sure.
Everybody, my mom, who's the grandmother of Tucker, my dad, the grandfather of Tucker. I mean, everybody is grieving in their own way. Everybody learned of this tragedy in their own time, their own way. Everybody learned a different way. I can't give you their perspectives. I can't tell you how they felt, how they feel. Of course, everybody's devastated. I can only tell you what happened that morning when I got a call, and that's what I want to tell everybody right now, just so you can gauge it, get some kind of sense of where this anger, where this sense of urgency comes from, why we want to save children, why it's necessary, why it's so urgent. I want to tell you the story. I got a call that morning. It was November 15th, early in the morning. Philip, my brother, we talk every day. I mean, sometimes 3 times a day. There's not a day usually that goes by that we don't talk. His wife is perfectly okay with it, and keep in mind his wife is the stepmother to these kids, and she's going through her own thing. Everybody. I don't know how to tell. I don't know how to talk about their thing. Sure. This is my thing. I get a call from Philip that morning. It was very early in the morning. I didn't answer. I couldn't answer. I was busy with my brother who's a head injury, so I couldn't get to the phone right away. When I did get a second, which was about 5 minutes later, I tried to call back. He didn't answer. In the meantime, my other sister calls me, Shannon. She's upset. And she said, Steph, you really need to call Philip. He's trying to get a hold of you. Call Philip. Something happened. I couldn't grasp. Shannon was talking. Shannon was upset. I said, what? She said, I don't know. Somebody got shot. Something happened. So right away, of course, my mind, and this is the day that we were hoping would never come, but that's where my mind went to automatically, was Tucker and the evil one. It's Earl, Earl Tripp. It's the evil one. My mind goes to that, and I'm thinking, oh God, oh God, oh God. And I try to call Philip. No answer. Philip finally calls me. And he says, Steph. I said, Philip, is everybody okay? He said, no. He said, he's been shot. And I said, who? What? I mean, even in my heart of hearts, I knew. But I said, what? He said, Tucker. I said, is he okay? He said, no, Steph. He got my boy. I said, no. He said, yeah, he's gone. I said, where are you at? He said, at the house. Meaning the house where the incident took place.
Right.
I said, I'll be there. I'm on my way. I get up, get a babysitter for my brother, and head out. I get to the scene. Philip and his wife were already on the scene.
Right.
Bunches of police, state troopers, it's an open scene.
All the authorities. That you would expect to be a part of.
I come on the scene, and Philip's there. I run to Philip, we hug and cry, and that's all you can do. You already know, so that's all you can do. Except I wanted to know, and he knew I wanted to know. Is the evil one still around? And he said no. He said he's gone also. And I'm thinking good. I'm thinking bad, because in a way I didn't want him to be gone, because I wanted to beat the crap out of him. I wanted to take it out on somebody. I wanted to strangle him. I wanted to do to him what he did to my nephew.
You need to pay for this.
Exactly.
Kind of
you need to pay
mind.
for this.
Right.
I want you to suffer. This is the coward's way out. I'm on the scene, finding out exactly what happened. Nobody's allowed to go in really yet. It's, you got to wait. Authorities have to wait for warrants and this, that, and the other. The guy on the scene was a local deputy sheriff here. People in the scene, the authorities, our coroner. I can't imagine what they went through going in there. They have to still be going through so much, to come up on a scene like that, to have to go in to people. These are people that they knew. These are Tucker. They knew, Tucker. They knew the family. They knew our family. So I can't imagine what they're going through. I just can't. But anyhow, I'm out.
And I think, and I agree with you. Just jump in here a second, let you catch your breath. I think no matter what part you play in this, where you fall in law enforcement, and being a coroner or undertaker, EMS, these folks do extraordinary jobs. They
Awesome.
see absolutely some of the worst things you could possibly imagine.
And they got to do their job.
Once in a blue moon, there comes along in their lives, in their daily job, an extraordinary set of circumstances.
Exactly.
Far and above what they normally deal with. And this was that day.
And we have to sit on the scene.
Sure. Where
the news people, they finally block it off. News cameras, news crews come, neighbors come out. Everybody wants to know, what happened. We're up front. We're right in front of the house. They come out, everybody, they're in and out all day long. Philip ends up going home. His daughter, who is in the Air Force, is in another state trying to get home. So Philip has to be home with her and the middle child. She's home. She gets home. So he has to be there with them. He has to tell them what happened. He has to be there for them. He says, Steph, I need to go home. And I said, sorry, that door's locked. I'm trying to let him in.
Okay.
Somebody wants to talk to you on line 1.
Okay.
We'll get to we will take your calls.
I said,
we'll do that after the first break.
I said, Philip, he said, Steph, I've got to go. And I said, Philip, it's okay. I said, it's all right. I will be here with Tucker. It's okay. It's all right. I'll stay. Make sure Tucker gets out okay. I will stay. And I stayed. My cousin stayed with me. And as a sister, as an aunt, as a family member, you know, it's devastating. But I stayed and watched 3 body bags be brought out of that house. At the end of the day, 3 body bags, one of them being my nephew, pulled out of that house. And you just can't imagine what that's like, seeing your nephew pulled out in a body bag. But I wanted to make sure that he got out. I wanted to make sure that he got out of that house okay, you know, for whatever reason. And I called Philip, you know, and told him Tucker made it out okay. So,
Sure.
You know, that's that morning from my perspective. That's what happened. After that, found out the same day that the evil one shot and killed my nephew, shot and killed my nephew's mother, and turned around and shot and killed him. That's kind of the ending of the day, is the not exactly the details, but I didn't want to know all the details, and we didn't want to know all the details. We just wanted to make sure that Tucker didn't suffer, and Tucker never saw it coming. Tucker didn't suffer. You know, Tucker was gone.
Just in the blink of an eye, you know. And
yes.
And you know, everybody, I think to this day, on different levels, I think we all do, when we stop and think about it, see a Facebook post, an article in the paper, what we're doing today on the radio, we stop and we kind of go back there. And I think when a situation ends up like that, certainly everybody's heart goes out to you guys, but the perpetrator, when folks like that take their own life, I think a lot of times in any given situation, I think there are a lot of mixed emotions about that. You know, as you were saying earlier, I want to make this right. I want justice. And do you feel like there's justice in that?
I feel like it. Here's what I feel like, Steve. I feel like the evil one shot and killed my nephew. But in my opinion, there was a lot of fingers on the trigger that day. In my opinion.
And we're going to explore that here shortly. We do have a call. Do you need to take a break?
I'm good.
You good?
Good.
Okay. Tell you what, they've been very, very patient. We will take this call, then we will take a break, and we will be back. Thank you for your patience and your call. You're on Edgewise.
Yes. My little nephew went to school with Tucker. Tucker was his best friend. And my little nephew, he won't go to archery or nothing. Maybe he quit everything. And we just now got him back in to where he can do stuff. I know Philip personally, and and Philip is one hell of a man. And I hope everything he needs to do to the court system, they need to just wipe the whole courthouse out. Philip needs to stand up and do what he can. Community will.
Brother, I appreciate your call, but because of the wonderful technology of cell phones, you're starting to kind of break up. But
thank you.
And
listen, your nephew, honestly, and you probably have already experienced this, can call and talk to Philip and come over and you know, it's all about love, and we're all about the kids, and I know that Philip, you know, I know how Philip is, so.
Ever since I was a little kid.
Hey, me too. We got something in common.
Yeah, and your family is nicest people in this town.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Yeah, like my little nephew, we just now got him to where he started back in the Army and everything. And he told me, he said, I'm not doing it for myself. He said, I'm doing it for Tucker.
Oh, God love him.
You know, and kids,
I'm doing it for Philip and Tucker. He said, because Tucker was my friend.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Tell him thank you.
Thank you so very much for your call and your emotion. I know
Thank you.
I know it was an absolute tough call to make. Thank you, and God bless you. We're going to take a quick break. I found through my life that kids are just, you think they're tender and fragile and so breakable, and they are, but they're some of the most resilient people on the planet if you give them half a chance to be, especially if they're surrounded by love. We're going to talk about the fingers, not finger, but the fingers on the trigger after the break.
Hello, this is Jason Whitaker with Whitaker Skid and Crate. If you ship parts or products locally or internationally and you need a crate or a skid to ship them in, you need to call Whitaker Skid and Crate. Whitaker Skid and Crate, 1240 Old North Bridge Road in Corden, Indiana, will build your crate or skid to your specifications. We are also licensed to ship overseas. Call Dale, he's the owner. He will help you figure out what you need, and it won't cost you anything. He will give you a free estimate. Call Whitaker Skid and Crate today, 812-738-2396.
Stop by and visit the friendly staff at River Ridge Marathon on the bypass in Brandenburg, locally owned and operated. They offer pay at the pump 24 hours a day. They serve breakfast, lunch, and have daily specials. They offer propane tank exchange, and they'll even pump the gas for senior drivers and customers with disabilities. Lottery tickets, money orders, ATMs, and more. River Ridge Marathon, 630 River Ridge Plaza in Brandenburg. Call 422-1500.
Have you worked hard all your life, paid into Social Security, and now due to an illness or injury are unable to work? Have you been turned down for Social Security disability when you need it the most? Stone Law Office understands how difficult it is to deal with the Social Security Administration, and you have enough to worry about. Let Alex Stone get you the benefits you deserve. Alex Stone, the people's lawyer, serving the local community for over 35 years. Stone Law Office, 422-3900.
Bim's Ready Mix and Concrete is the place to go for your sand and concrete needs. Maybe you're not sure how much you need. The staff at Bim's is knowledgeable, and they are there to help make sure you get the right product and the quantity you need. Bim's also accepts MasterCard and Visa. When you need rock, sand, or concrete and you want fast, friendly service, call Bim. He can guarantee it. Bim's Ready Mix at 120 Shamrock Road in Brandenburg, or call 422-4155.
Home Plate Restaurant in Brandenburg has a big announcement. Wait for it. Wait for it. There are new items on the menu. Bam, there it is. New items on the menu include the Slugger Hot Brown, Chicken Queso Fettuccine, homemade hand-battered chicken tenders, pretzel bites, and wait for it again, wait, homemade apple pastries. Just when you thought the Home Plate Restaurant menu couldn't get any bigger, then you'd be wrong, wouldn't you? Home Plate Restaurant in the River Ridge Plaza on the bypass in Brandenburg.
Webb's Butcher Block has always been supportive of the local community and farmers. Many of their kids, family members, and employees have been in the local FFA chapter and the local 4-H chapter. Webb's buys fair show hogs and beef almost every year as part of their continued support of kids and the local FFA and 4-H chapters. If your school, church, or community organization is interested in fundraising with Webb's Butcher Block, call them today at 270-496-4124. There's no right way on doing things the wrong way, so don't let a goof do your roof. Get it done right the first time by a fully insured professional at Wrights Construction. They offer 21 years experience and give free estimates for residential and commercial reproofing, tear-offs, flat roofs, metal roofing, gutters, chimney repairs, and even small repairs like leaks, shingles blown off, and flashing work. Got a home improvement that needs to be done right? Well, get it done the right way with Wrights Construction, 828-5206 or 502-724-3614.
22 minutes past. Welcome back. The show is called Edgewise. Guest in the studio here today, Stephanie Wimpy, and it's everybody has a story about that day. You know, I've got a story in having a phone conversation with your son, who I knew in my heart of hearts knew, but come to find out he didn't, and I'm like, okay, God,
Right.
what are you up to? I know he needs to know, but me, really?
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things that, and you apologized to me for that, and there's absolutely no need for that because...
Well, that's a hard position to be in. I wouldn't want anybody to be in that position.
Sure, and you don't, but here's the thing. God does what he does, and we all have a role in when we're, intertwined with each other and doing whatever.
My thing is, God lets us do what we do, and it's free will. So we have mouths, we have the power. God gave us power. God empowered us. It's not all. I mean, I love my God. Don't get me wrong. I love my God. I'm a gun-toting, God-fearing son of a gun. But let me tell you, we have the power to change things. We do. It's within us. God gave that to us. We can't just pray and pray that everything will turn out okay. We can pray that God gives us strength to make it okay.
Sure.
But we have to do something. We have to change things.
To lead, guide, and direct. And I did something on the radio, I think, the day of the funeral, and I have no idea where this came from. But I said, this is so senseless, and we're all wrapped up in this, and we're involved in this, and we're all going to hurt for a while and hug each other. I said, but then here in a week or so, we're going to flip on the TV, and there's another senseless tragedy, and this will then, for a lot of folks, be in the rearview mirror. I said, this has got to stand
exactly
for something. This has to mean something. I don't know what. But it's...
I do. My nephew. Exactly. My nephew getting his head blown up. My nephew, just... I know it's graphic, and I'm not trying to be graphic, but I'm angry. And
sure.
This right here, this incident right here, if you're not going to stand up and change something in this starting in this county... And everybody knows. I hear the stories all the time. Philip hears the stories all the time. Our family has heard these stories this started in 2005. We've been hearing stories since 2005. This case, this whole family case has been going on since 2005, and we've heard so many stories. And this is like the worst case scenario. Any of these stories could end up like this, like our story ended up, any of these stories. But if you're not going to stand up and take a stand now and change things in this county, start in this county, then what's the point? Why did God put us here? Why are we here if we're not going to stand up and speak up, speak out? Let's change something. Let's start here in this county. Let's start one Tucker at a time, guys, one Tucker at a time. And the thing is, the big thing right now, you have the power. Everybody that's listening to me right now has the power to change things. You may not think you do. You may not think one person can change anything. But one person can. Tucker can. Tucker things. If you help him. If you help us, help him. If you help us, I promise you this can change. I promise you this system can change. And I'm going to tell you, the very first step, and I put it on, it's our foundation. It's on the One Tucker at a Time page, how you can start here in this county.
And a couple of times throughout the show, we will absolutely give you Facebook pages,
exactly.
websites, phone numbers. So, as we say in the tradio business, get something to write with, because we want you to have this information. And it takes, and I just, hurts my heart to actually quote Hillary Clinton, but it does take a village.
It takes a village.
Not to make light of the situation, but if everybody, and it's like raising money for charities, whatever, if everybody does a little bit of something, then lot of stuff gets done. If one person tries to do it all, then you're a basket
You
case.
you cannot affect change if you don't get up off your ass and do it. Simple as that.
Nothing.
You have to affect. Nothing gets done if you're going to sit there and you can commiserate with me right now. You can sit there and cry, hear my story, hear our story,
Sure.
hear this family's story, hear it from my perspective, and you can be upset. And I hope it got to. I hope and pray that it affected you somehow or another. But if you just are affected like that and you sit and you cry and you're like, God, I hope they change things, then that's not helping. What's going to help is if you get up and say, I'm going to help them change things. All I have to do is make a call. I can do that. If all I have to do is make a phone call and it will change the way this county operates, wouldn't you do that? Wouldn't you do that if that's all it took?
And it's free. It's not like
it's not
having to find a little bit of money to help something. And here's the thing. This is an absolutely great country. It's a great county. It's a great
beautiful. I love my county. We love our county.
It's fabulous. But here's what's fabulous about it and this country and the state/commonwealth is that we still have the freedom. We have the opportunity. And believe it or not, I believe we have the duty when we see something needs to be changed, we need to actually put those thoughts.
Damn right, Steve. Exactly.
Into action and do it.
You see it. You see something, say something. You see something. I don't care if it is child abuse. I don't care if it's drugs. I don't care what it is out here in this county. If you see something, you have the duty. You have the responsibility, the moral responsibility, if not the legal responsibility, to say something. Say something. Get up and say something. You can change things. And I will tell you that the CFHS, the Cabinet for Families and Health Services, the DCBS, Department of Community-Based Services, which falls under the CHFS. CHFS is the cabinet. It is over everything. All these departments in Kentucky. The DCBS falls under there, which is
the umbrella.
Right. The CHFS is the umbrella.
And here's what I think you're doing right now. If I'm not mistaken, you said there were many fingers.
Many fingers
on that.
I'm talking about the fingers.
So and this is why you say what you said, because sometimes systems, no matter how good they are, they need to be changed. They need to be fixed because certain aspects of
they wouldn't be called KRSs, Steve, if it wasn't. KRS is the Kentucky Revised Statutes. It wouldn't be called. Why would they need to be revised? Let's call them KOKSs. No, they're KRSs, revised. There's things that need to be revised. There's a lot of KRS juvenile code that falls under KRSs. If you get on Google things, start reading. It can really. It can overwhelm you, but I'm going to tell you simply right now that the triggers I'm talking about, the fingers on the trigger, and we all know, everybody knows right now that the one that pulled the trigger, is gone. He's gone. Our family can't stomp him. Our family can't do anything about it. Our family can't legally see justice done for Tucker that way. Did he actually pull the trigger? Yes, he did. But I'm going to tell you, since 2005, Philip's kids were crying out for help. Since 2005, we went to the court system. Which the court system goes to CPS also. The court system can enact CPS to do something. Okay, this needs to be investigated by CPS.
Right.
CPS has the duty to investigate. That's their duty, to investigate these situations. Okay, these so-called investigations that are done here in the county are sloppy at best. I'm just going to say it. At best, it's sloppiness. You cannot call ahead of time and let a potential child abuser or a neglectful mother or a neglectful parent, a neglectful guardian, abuseful guardian, caregiver, whatever. You cannot call ahead of time to these people and say, hey, this has been alleged. This allegation is made against you. Would it be okay if we come out and check your house out? Because they're saying that there's locks on the outside of these kids' doors where they're actually getting locked into these bedrooms. So we need to come out and make sure that A is taken care of, B is taken care of. We want to
Right.
know that there's a door on the bathroom when this teenage girl gets out of the shower and there's no man standing there looking at her
Right.
naked. We want to make sure that there's a door on that shower. These are the allegations that's being brought forth. So we need to call and before we come out, we're just going to let you know we're coming out. So is Thursday a good day for you guys? No, Thursday wouldn't be good. That doesn't give us enough time to really straighten up, to manipulate the kids, to put doors where they need to be, to separate bedrooms, and trust me, manipulating kids takes a long time. So if you could, give us another couple days. How about Monday? Would that be all right? Okay, what time Monday? This is all, it's set. They call ahead of time. It's ridiculous. I'll put it out there, and I hope this office, Lisa Parker, who is the supervisor of this office in Brandenburg, our CPS office, I really hope she's listening. I really do, because the supervisor has the power to change that practice. Surprise visits are absolutely mandatory. They should be mandatory. They're absolutely necessary. Surprise visits have to be necessary. Do you know how many kids you guys out here in this county listening, in another county, in another state listening, how many kids you could save if you just do this one thing? Just this one thing. Call this local office and tell Lisa Parker things need to change. This needs to change. Surprise visits need to be mandatory. It's ridiculous. Also, I will give you that phone number here shortly. But also, there is the CHFS DCBS commissioner that works out of Frankfurt. She's top dog, Teresa Haynes. She's top dog. Got her number I'm going to give you. You can call her. Leave a message. Leave a voicemail. Lisa Parker doesn't answer, leave her a voicemail. Let her know that this is your county. This is our county. This is us, guys. This is us saving kids. This is our kids. Everybody's kids. We're gonna save some kids. Let's save some kids. Let's save one kid. Just this one little practice of call ahead on these visits, call ahead on these investigations. This changing this one little thing could save a lot of kids. Keep in mind, there's a lot of things that need to be changed.
Oh yeah,
with the system. But I'm just this one little thing. Everybody asked after the funeral. Everybody asked, walk in town. If there's anything we can do, just let us know. Please, just let us know if there's anything we can do. Really, if there's anything we can do, let us know. Anything. I'm definitely, our family's letting you know what you can do right here, right now. I let you know on Facebook. We put it out there on One Tucker at a time. We're letting you know what you can do. It's a phone call, guys. It's a phone call. Flood that office. Flood Teresa Haynes from Frankfurt. Flood them. Let them know this is what we want to change. And I'm gonna tell you why this is important. And I know Steve needs to take a break.
Well, I do, but my question is, in our conversation the other day, whether it's Meade County or any,
and that's
other,
what I'm going to tell you,
or any other county.
Yes,
it's set up to where they absolutely can make surprise visits.
Here's the thing, Steve, and I know you need to go to a break, and I want to say this before you go to a break, because I'm passionate about this. Our family's passionate about this. They absolutely, it's not the CPS, Child Protective Services, under the CHFS, under the Department for Community-Based Services, DCBS, they go by something called the SOP, Standard of Practice Manual. Every county in this state, I don't know about other guys' states, I know there's other people in other states listening. Check it out. Sure. Check your own state out. Google it. Check this out. You need to know what's going on. You need to understand your system. But every county in this state has to go by the SOP, Standards of Practice Manual, that the CHFS, DCBS puts out for the CPS. They have to go by this manual. It's like the Bible for them. They have to go by this manual, okay? Everybody adheres to the same set of rules. There's regions set up from the CPS. CPS is divided into regions in our state. We fall under the Salt River Trail region, okay? Us, Hardin County, there's several counties that fall into something called the Salt River Trail region. Why I'm telling you this, it's very important that you listen to this. this is our region, okay? Keep in mind, every county in this state, it doesn't matter about the regions, but every county in this state adhere to the SOP, okay? Hardin County, other counties fall in our same region. You tell me, you ask Lisa Parker, why? Why is it that Hardin County absolutely enables the surprise visit practice? Absolutely do surprise visits. Why don't we? Why doesn't Meade County? Why doesn't the supervisor, Lisa Parker, of our office here in Brandenburg, why doesn't she do that?
There is a reason why when law enforcement gets together and they're getting ready to go, as they say, make a big bust, there's a reason that they don't call ahead and tell the crack dealer or the guy running the meth lab they're coming over. There's a reason for that. And here's the thing, we're not trying to hold anybody up and try to verbally beat anybody up, but the system has to be changed, and in order
Steve's
to change,
not.
You need to know who to talk to.
Yes, absolutely.
You need to know who to talk to, no matter whether you're in Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, wherever. Some of this is going to have to change. I've kind of got a personal take on another aspect of this that I think needs to be changed, and I think you do too. Quick break as we go there with the others.
Special kind of sunshine in a smile.
Oh no, you have a big event coming up and you're in charge of the food. What are you gonna do? No problem. Call Home Plate Restaurant in Brandenburg. They offer catering for all your special events, family reunions, office meetings, parties, weddings, and more. Kathy and her staff can do it all. Stop by or give them a call at 422-1759. Home Plate Restaurant in the River Ridge Plaza on the bypass in Brandenburg. Stop by today.
Bim's Ready Mix and Concrete is the place to go for your sand and concrete needs. Maybe you're not sure how much you need. The staff at Bim's is knowledgeable and they are there to help make sure you get the right product and the quantity you need. Bim's also accepts MasterCard and Visa. When you need rock, sand, or concrete and you want fast, friendly service, call Bim. He can guarantee it. Bim's Ready Mix at 120 Shamrock Road in Brandenburg, or call 422-4155.
Stop by and visit the friendly staff at River Ridge Marathon on the bypass in Brandenburg, locally owned and operated. They offer pay at the pump 24 hours a day. They serve breakfast, lunch, and have daily specials. They offer propane tank exchange, and they'll even pump the gas for senior drivers and customers with disabilities. Lottery tickets, money orders, ATMs, and more. River Ridge Marathon, 630 River Ridge Plaza in Brandenburg. Call 422-1500.
Hello, this is Jason Whitaker with Whitaker Skid and Crate. If you ship parts or products locally or internationally and you need a crate or a skid to ship them in, you need to call Whitaker Skid and Crate. Whitaker Skid and Crate, 1240 Old North Bridge Road in Corden, Indiana, will build your crate or skid to your specifications. We are also licensed to ship overseas. Call Dale, he's the owner. He will help you figure out what you need, and it won't cost you anything. He will give you a free estimate. Call Whitaker Skid and Crate today, 812-738-2396.
Alec G. Stone, the people's lawyer, understands that bringing a lawsuit can be a time-consuming and a traumatic experience. You need an attorney you can trust to actively look out for your interest. Alec G. Stone is committed to you to bring the best service by returning calls, explaining legal matters, evaluating your injuries, and negotiating with insurance companies. That's why clients and their children have been coming back to Alec G. Stone for over 35 years. If you want a compassionate, experienced attorney who will be aggressive to get you the dollars you deserve, contact Alec G. Stone, the people's lawyer, 270-422-3900.
With Wright Construction, you get the service you expect, the value you deserve, the peace of mind knowing you're getting a quality job at an affordable price by a contractor who stands behind what he does. Are you thinking about having a new roof installed or other home or business repair? Decisions. So many contractors to choose from. Well, let Wright's Construction make it easier for you. They're fully insured. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They're a member of the National Home Builders Association. They've had the same business name, phone number, and address for 22 years. So give them a call. It doesn't cost you anything. You might just find
Find out why Wrights Construction is Meade County's preferred roofing company. Wrights Construction, 270-828-5206. Listen up, everybody. Webb's Butcher Block is in full operation. That's right. Webb's Butcher Block is in full operation for meat and deer processing. Any after-hour drop-off is welcome until 9 p.m. The phone numbers are posted. Webb's is ready to fill your freezers with their great Webb's products with deer sausage, burgers, and steaks, and your favorite cuts of meat. So, Marty and all the gang want you to thank Webb's Butcher Block for all your processing needs. Webb's Butcher Block, 1910 Rodelia Road, Paineville, Kentucky. They're open 8 to 4 Monday through Friday. Call 496-4124. Name of the show is Edgewise. Stephanie Wimpy in the house here with us today. We're going to go over here, I would say, immediately to the phone lines, but got to pay some bills. Here we go. Good morning. Appreciate your patience. You're on Edgewise. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I just wanted to make a comment. I have heard, I would like to make a comment to the people who had snide comments, derogatory statements made about a statement that it takes a village to raise a child. It seems that we are on here now saying our community needs to wake up and help save our children. So I just wanted to ask those who, with the negative snide comments, if they're listening now. And that's my comment. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate the call. Hi, you're on Edgewise.
Yes. Me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My heart goes out to Stephanie. Definitely does. Anytime I hear of a child being hurt, abused, it upsets me. I had a friend in Louisville. He was a great big black man. I mean, he was 7 foot tall and all muscle. And he worked with a lot of black children. And he'd work with them on his off days and on his days he was, after work.
Right.
And I asked him one time, I said, how come there's so many shootings of these kids killing each other? He sat there a minute, he said, Mike, they believe they can get away with it. He said, they honestly believe they can get away with it. He said, I got one kid that's got somebody driving him around in a Cadillac. That boy's making $1,000 a week. He said the law can't really do nothing about him because he's a juvenile. And as far as she's concerned, you tell her that anyone that harms a child or abuses a child or kills a child the Indian way, they've damned themselves to hell.
Brother, I tell you what, we appreciate you calling and sharing the story.
Thank you very, very, very much.
And appreciate I'm sure I speak for you and say appreciate the support. I don't know if 4 is for us or not, or 3. We never go there. One more quick one, then you've got some grounds you want to cover before we run out of time. Good morning. You're on Edgewise.
Yes, Steve. Good morning. I wanted to tell Stephanie, and I'll be brief, that I will make those phone calls, and I'll call someone else to make those phone calls. And I will be listening for the numbers to be given out, and I'll do what I can. I'm a grandmother and, of course, a mom. And my grandson knew Tucker, and when I heard about the shooting, I told my grandson I wanted him to bring up Tucker's picture on Facebook. I just had to see it. And anyway, I just want to let her know that I love all children, and I think we should love the children as we would our own.
Thank
any
you.
child.
Thank you very much, and thank you for saying that you're doing it and you're going to get somebody else to do it. That's what it takes. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I will make the call. When I hear these numbers, I'll call whoever I need to.
God love you. Thank you very much.
Too, so.
Thank you.
Thanks so
God
much.
bless. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
God bless you too. And I know she loves because I heard a kid in the background, little
Yeah.
baby in the background.
That's awesome.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. I've known her for a long time. Good morning. You're on Edgewise.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, I'm in kind of a similar situation. I'm going through a custody battle after having my kid for about 4 or 5 years. Mother has had nothing to do with him, has never seen him in the 5 years. And then the court up here decides that she should have unsupervised visitation at her house without doing a criminal background check or anything on her.
Okay.
Yeah. We've heard a lot of these stories. I mean, a bunch of them since we started this, like in 2005, since the Tucker case started in like 2005. We've heard a lot of stories, but we've heard more since Tucker got killed. We've heard a bunch of stories, and it's a lot in this county. I'm sure it's in a lot of counties, but it happens a lot here in this county, And here's the thing. I appreciate you listening. I mean, we all do. My family does. Steve does. I appreciate you listening. But if you could listen, listen and please do this. It could change your situation down the road if you just make a phone call. That's all you have to do. I commiserate. I hate that you're going through this. I hate that anybody has to go through this. I hate that anybody has to do any fight and you have to fight, but I hate that you're going through this. But if you make this call, and we'll give you some numbers, if you make this call, I promise you can help in the long run. You can help other kids. You can help your own situation in the long run. I promise. But you have to stand up. You have to say something. Please make this phone call, please.
Yeah, we're going to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that so much. One quick thing that I said to you on break is that anybody can pick the phone up and make a phone call to any county agency about anybody and say these kids are not being taken care of. They can do this anonymously. Then these poor, overworked people who work on the front lines and go knock on the doors and make the visits and all this, they're out there a lot of times chasing their tail, chasing ghosts through no fault of their own. I think that needs to be changed, because if you can have a tip line to turn in criminals and get the reward, even though you don't have to give your name, there's a way to do this so that if somebody does call in a false report and does lie about stuff like this, it can come back and bite them on
so many things need to be changed in the system, Steve. So many things, but this is one thing. This is a start. This is a start here in this county. This is the one thing that could change a lot, could help a lot. And keep in mind, I want you to hear me out. Listen, I am not bashing Child Protective Service workers at all. Absolutely not. There's a lot of good CPS workers out there. There's a lot of them out there. Are they overworked, understaffed? Absolutely, I'm sure. I'm sure. But you know what? There's a lot of overworked, understaffed people in every job out there. A mother, a nurse. Everywhere you look, there's overworked, understaffed people. That's no reason, guys. No reason at all to not do your job. Simple as that. That's no reason to not do your job. You have to do your job. I had somebody say to me not too long ago that they could not sleep they have to go home at night. They have to go home at night after doing cases and after investigating cases. They have to go home at night and sleep with themselves. They couldn't sleep with themselves if they did not do their job to the fullest of their ability, give it everything they got to save kids. And I'm not bashing CPS workers, but what I will tell you real quick is that if you think that the state hasn't taken notice that something's going on in Kentucky, there's a lot of fatalities and near-death fatalities that had prior involvement with the CPS, with Child Protective Services in the state of Kentucky. And what they did in the fiscal year 2013, without bogging you down, they put together a committee to investigate these cases. out of 200, they took 205 specific cases of fatalities or near-death fatalities and studied them. Mm-hmm. And what they found was that 44% of the problem, the top problem, is lack of knowledge of the standard of procedure manual I was telling you about. 44%, almost half of the problem, is they don't know their own standards of practice. You know, that's 44%. People talk about overworked and understaffed. That fell way down on the bottom of the list. That fell way down in their findings. 19%, the next thing down, was lack of paperwork. They couldn't find paperwork. They didn't have paperwork or whatever. You know, there's a lot of flaws in the system, in the whole system as an entirety. But this right here, this one little thing of surprise visits, demand surprise visits here in Meade County. Other people, other counties, other CPS workers in other counties absolutely do surprise visits. Can we? Absolutely. We have the power to do it here in this county. Call Lisa Parker over here, CPS, off the bypass. I don't care if you don't live in my county, you don't live in our county. You can affect change no matter what county you live in. You know, you start here, it's going to be a snowball effect. Other counties will take notice. Call Lisa Parker. I'm going to give you her number really fast. And I also want you to call Teresa Haynes, who is the commissioner, the DCBS commissioner, you know, out of the state. Get her ass up and moving. Get her to do something about this in our county. Are other counties, you know, probably having the same problem? Absolutely. I'm talking about right here, right now, our county. Affect change here, and it will affect change everywhere. Here's the number, okay? Lisa Parker. Gotta put my glasses on. Lisa Parker, Family Services. It's the Protection and Permanency Office, 516 Bypass Road. The zip is 40108. Just in case you need to. And you can also go to One Tucker at a Time page on Facebook, and you'll get this information. Her number, 270-422-3942. That's Lisa Parker, 270-422-3942. Ask her why we don't do surprise visits. Ask her why. Teresa James, the commissioner for the DCBS. She's out of Frankfort. The number's 502-564-3703. And yes, you'll have to leave messages. I've been down this road 1,000 times. Both places probably you'll have to leave messages, but it's very important that you do. It's very important that you not only sit back and listen to this story, to our family's story, but it's very important to our family that you get up and you do something about it. You know, affect change. Start here. Start now. One Tucker at a time, guys. And it's right here, right now.
And it can work. And I keep coming back, you know, when a situation seems to be overwhelming, you know, and there's the old question, joke, maybe, yeah, probably not. How do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. You have to start somewhere. A job looks so overwhelming, so you choose not to do it. You don't have to do this alone. And, you know, we want to think that we're absolutely the absolute best place on the planet, and this is a special place, and this is our people are unlike any other, and the list goes on and on and on. And, you know, to a certain degree, we're right. But we are not unique to any other place on the planet anywhere. Folks,
I have to repeat these numbers one time,
sure.
Steve. I was asked to repeat them.
Absolutely. Folks go through this all across the country. This ain't just us. This ain't just this office down here, but this is where we want to start. You've got all the contact information.
Exactly. Start now. Lisa Parker, 270-422-3942. Teresa James, she's the commissioner for the DCBS. Her number's 502-564-3703. And if you need them, if you can't find if something happens and you've lost these numbers in the next couple, I would really ask that you do it now. Call today. Call as soon as you can. If you've written them down and you know you think I'll call tomorrow or whatever, and you lose these numbers, go to the One Tucker at a Time page. Call, get your granddaughter, daughter, kids, nephews, nieces. They all can. If you can't navigate Facebook, get somebody that can. Go to the One Tucker at a Time page. All that information is there, and it's very important. I'm telling you. I promise you. You can save a kid. You can absolutely affect change. You can save a kid. It's in our power. God gave us the power. It's in our power to save a kid, and we can do it if you just make these calls. Stand up with us. Speak up, stand up, make these calls, please.
In doing this, and I know you guys have short-term goals for One Tucker at a time, and certainly big picture goals. Once we get this churning around, and hopefully we get a groundswell of folks that actually not only speak concern, but put some action behind that, and show their concern and their love for the kids, and compassion for the workers. It absolutely cannot be an easy job, but if these changes are made, the job then for them may become more tolerable. So it very well could work both sides. What's the next big thing for One Tucker at a time?
Well,
we got shows or picnics, or
we
I
have
know
got.
You guys are doing some stuff.
We are. We've got. And I've got to find her number. Dadgummit, you got Anna's number. We're always selling shirts. We're always trying to fundraise for the Tucker Foundation. Always fundraising. It'll help us in the long run, with lots of things. There's lots of goals, scholarships. There's buildings, after-school activities. There's so much that we're trying to accomplish. We have so many goals, that we're working a little at a time. We're starting a little at a time. We don't want to make it so big and overwhelming that we can't do anything. So we're working on things. We're working on fundraisers. If you want to know what's going on, go to the One Tucker at a Time page. We'll also post things in the paper now and again, so please check on that. We're always selling shirts, and we've got the coolest shirts. If you look at the shirts, they're specifically designed because of Tucker. It's Tucker and his dad. They got Philip. It was sent to him. The Smith family sent Philip, the willow tree people, was so cool. It was so neat. And we had this idea. The shirts are kind of molded from that. They're and Shannon thinks I'm losing it right now, but if you look at the shirts, it's a father kneeling down helping his son, and the son has a smile on his face, and the son has a big heart, and that was Tucker. Everybody needs to know.
Absolutely. Go to the Facebook page. If you have not been to the Facebook page, please go there. Shannon, you got anything?
I want to give you this number, and I'm going to suck it up and give you this number right now. By God, it's going to happen.
Right.
The number, Anna Whited, okay? Call her about these shirts, 270-668-2165. She'll appreciate the call. You're not bothered. Text her. If you text her, it's probably easier, but if you don't get a hold of her, leave her a message. We want a lot of these shirts to go out. We want solidarity. We want unity. We want everybody to have these shirts. So we know you're all helping us out. You're on the same page. It makes us feel so good when we see those shirts. I don't know why, but it makes us feel good that everybody.
We may cry, but
yeah, but it does make us feel good. So thanks, guys. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for taking the time for making these phone calls. It's very, very important. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And let's save our kids one Tucker at a time.
You bet. And you guys have so much going on. Thank you for just taking the time to come in here and to do this. I know it took a lot. We can do this. We can let one family's tragedy and pain and anger turn into something that benefits everybody and leaves a great legacy for everybody.
Thanks, Steve.
Knowing it can be fixed is one thing. Taking a step forward, having the bravery to fix it, that's what it's all about. Have a wonderful, blessed weekend, folks. Appreciate you listening. We've got a couple of folks here. You may want to take some calls here, but we've got to go to news. Have a wonderful, blessed weekend. Be safe. God bless you. I'll see you at 6 o'clock Monday morning.